So the call came on a Sunday, and the man who answered it was at Balmoral, which is the place British kings go when they want the world to leave them alone. Charles picked up the phone and his younger son told him something that 6 years of royal correspondence, palace sources, and tabloid front pages had all agreed would never happen. Harry and Meghan are coming home, not for a week, not for a charity dinner and a flight back to California. Home, with the children, with school places already booked, with a house already found, and the King of the United Kingdom had 2 days to sit with that information before the rest of the planet found out through an American magazine. Now I am going to hold William's reaction back for a while because it only lands properly once you understand the speed of this. The whole thing moved faster than anything I have covered in 3 years. Stay with me on this one because there is a detail buried in the middle of it about Meghan that nobody expected and that changes the shape of everything else. If you like the ones where the quiet week turns out to have been the loudest, take a second and subscribe, because this story broke 5 days ago, and it is still breaking now. Quick word before we go further. I am Harold. I spend my time going through the filings, the schedules, the records, and the small print that moves around this family. And what you are about to hear is me putting the pieces together from every confirmed report published since Tuesday. Stay with me to the end because the last detail is the one that tells you this is not a visit. By the time we finish, you will know what NBC News confirmed. You will know what CNN added. You will know what Variety got out of their sources. You will know what the Washington Post is calling it, and you will know what a former BBC royal correspondent said about William that no journalist has dared to say in public before this week. Let me give you the timeline, because the timeline is the story. Sunday, August 16th, King Charles is informed that Prince Harry and Meghan are relocating to the United Kingdom with Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. NBC News confirmed the date. CNN confirmed that this was not raised or discussed during the couple's family visit to the UK in July. The Telegraph reported that the matter was not discussed during the July trip. That means the decision was made after Highgrove, after the Althorpe visit, after the Instagram photograph that sources said left William sickened and Charles genuinely shocked. After all of that, they decided to come back. And they told the king 2 days before they told the world. Tuesday, August 19th, People magazine breaks the exclusive. The couple and their 2 children are heading across the pond sometime in August for an extended period. Archie and Lilibet have been enrolled in British schools to start in September. The family will maintain their home in Montecito. Within hours, the confirmation cascade begins. Variety confirms it and adds that Archwell Productions and As Ever will remain in the United States. NBC News confirms it and reports that Charles was told on Sunday. CNN confirms it and reports that the king welcomes the opportunity to see more of the Sussex family in a private capacity, but that there will be no change to their role as private individuals and non-working members of the royal family. The BBC confirms it. The Washington Post runs it the following morning and calls it the news that set British media ablaze. So King Charles just pulled off what might be the most quietly dramatic power move in modern royal history, and almost nobody saw it happen. People magazine reported on Friday that Meghan has been offered a major role in an upcoming project based in the United Kingdom. The Washington Times confirmed it. A source close to the couple told ABC News the account is accurate. The Sussex spokesperson declined to comment and did not deny it. News 24 reported that a royal expert confirmed the Duchess has been offered an acting role and will be resuming her acting career when she moves. Think about what that adds to the picture. This is not just a man bringing his children home to see their grandfather. This is a couple building a life, a house, schools, a career. The woman who left Britain in 2020 after saying the institution had failed to protect her is walking back onto British soil with an acting role in her hand and a school uniform laid out for her daughter. That is not a visit with a return ticket. That is a woman who has decided that the story of her life in this country is not finished. Quick note before we continue. Everything I dig up that does not make it into these videos I put into a free weekly letter. Join more than 10,000 royal insiders at crownletter.com. The link is in the pinned comment below. If you are watching on your TV, just point your phone at the QR code on screen. Now let me give you William. Former BBC royal correspondent Peter Hunt told The Guardian that Harry and Meghan's decision is likely to have left William apoplectic. Robert Jobson, author of The Windsor Legacy, told Hello magazine that William must be feeling slightly aghast. The prodigal son coming back will be difficult for him. Harry's move puts pressure on him to act in a more pragmatic way. Sources told Radar Online that William remains deeply hurt. There is still enormous anger on William's part over what was said about Catherine and the family. William sees protecting his wife and children as his priority. Charles may want reconciliation with his younger son, but William is nowhere near that point and does not intend to pretend otherwise. And then the sentence that went through every newsroom in London like a wire. William has made it clear that Harry returning to Britain does not mean they are suddenly brothers again in any meaningful sense. His position is that he has nothing to say to Harry, and he has vowed he will not be drawn into meetings simply because Harry is living in the country again. He has, in fact, privately vowed to give Harry and Meghan the silent treatment and has stated he will not be speaking to either of them for the foreseeable future. The silent treatment, that is the plan. Not a confrontation, not a statement, not a door slammed in public. Silence. The absence of a word, the absence of a photograph, the absence of the one thing Harry needs to make this return work, which is a moment where the country sees two brothers in the same frame and thinks they are fine now. William has decided that moment will not exist. And here is where it gets complicated in a way that the coverage has not properly explained. Because silence works when there is distance. Silence works when one brother is in California and the other is in Windsor, and the ocean does the heavy lifting. Silence does not work when both brothers are in the same country, when both sets of children are in schools a car ride apart, when both schedules will inevitably overlap at charity events and memorial services and family gatherings where the cameras are pointed at both of them. Jobson said it plainly. Harry's move puts pressure on William to act in a more pragmatic way. Pragmatic, that is the word that tells you the silent treatment has an expiry date whether William accepts it or not. You can vow silence across an ocean. You cannot vow silence across a village. The New Daily reported that William wants no part of any drama surrounding his brother's return and remains adamant that there is no way back for the Sussexes to return to any official royal roles. Kinsey Schofield told Page 6 that William has no plans to reconcile. Hilary Fordwich told Fox News it is widely known within the family that William has laid down an absolute ban on Harry returning in any way, shape, or form into his former royal family fold. Royal historian Marlene Koenig told Us Weekly there is no turning back. The door is firmly shut. Every single one of those positions was taken before the moving trucks were loaded. Every single one of them now has to survive the reality of proximity, and proximity is the one thing silence cannot defeat. Now let me bring in Catherine because she is the piece that changes this from a story about two brothers into something much more delicate. Stylecaster reported that Kate is begging William to reconcile with Harry before the move. Sources describe her as being on the side of peace. She reportedly believes there is no point continuing to fight anymore. Life is precious. Life is precious. 2 words from a woman who has been through a cancer diagnosis, who went through treatment in front of the whole country, who came back into public life, one engagement at a time, with a composure that nobody who watched it will forget, and who came out of that experience with a clarity about what matters that the rest of her family has not yet caught up with. She is married to a man who has vowed silence, and she is telling him life is precious. That is not a disagreement about policy. That is a wife looking at her husband and telling him that the thing he is holding on to is costing more than the thing he is protecting. And here is the detail about Catherine that I think matters more than any source quote. She has not met Lilibet, 5 years old, red hair, walking through an English garden in a summer dress. Catherine said publicly when Lilibet was born that she could not wait to meet her. 5 years later, she still has not. And now Lilibet is enrolling in a school in the same part of England where Catherine's children go to school. The meeting that has not happened in 5 years is now a matter of geography rather than diplomacy, and geography does not negotiate. Christopher Anderson told Us Weekly that he could only imagine William and Kate are tearing their hair out. They have so much on their plate trying to shore up the monarchy and propel it into the future, they do not really need to cope with having Harry and Meghan on their proverbial doorstep. He added the line that I think is the sharpest analysis anyone has produced this week. By returning to the UK, the Sussexes will inevitably suck up all the oxygen in the room and take the focus away from other members of the royal family, which is a major no-no. And Meghan is about to walk onto a British set and act in front of British cameras for the first time since Suits. Think about what that does to the oxygen. A duchess on set, a princess at a school gate, a prince at Wellchild, a family at Althorpe, all of it generating photographs, all of it generating stories, all of it landing on front pages that were supposed to belong to William and Catherine and the next generation of the monarchy. Shane Watson wrote in the Sunday Times that Meghan will happily return now because it will be as one of the Californian business elite. She was never stepping onto the tarmac at Heathrow as the Yoko of the royal family, somewhat chastened. She is coming back with as ever pulling in millions and an acting role in her pocket. That is not the woman who left in 2020. That is a woman who has spent 6 years building something outside the institution and is now bringing it back to the country that told her she did not belong. And underneath all of it, the date that everybody inside both households is counting toward. The Invictus Games open in Birmingham in July 2027. Harry will host them. The Mail on Sunday reported that Palace and Sussex staff are tentatively discussing a joint appearance between Charles and Harry. The question of whether William attends is the question that will define the next year of this family's public life. If he goes, the silence is over. If he does not go, the headline writes itself, and the country draws its own conclusions about a man who would not walk into a stadium full of wounded veterans because his brother organized it. I want to finish with the thing that sits underneath all the source quotes and the expert analysis and the palace positioning, because it is the thing that nobody in the coverage has said plainly, and somebody needs to. 2 children are starting school in England in 3 weeks, a boy of 7 and a girl of 5. They do not know about Spare or the Oprah interview or the Netflix documentary or the security case or the accommodation fiasco or the silent treatment or the apoplectic reaction or the door that is firmly shut. They know their dad told them they are moving to England and they are going to a new school and they are going to see their grandfather more often. And they said yes because they are 7 and 5, and that is what children do when their parents tell them something exciting. And somewhere in Windsor a man has vowed silence. And somewhere in Balmoral a grandfather cleared his diary. And somewhere between California and the Cotswolds a woman with an acting role and a lifestyle brand and 2 children in school uniforms is packing boxes and deciding which version of herself walks off that plane. The country is watching, the cameras are ready, the schools open in 3 weeks. And the only sound coming from Kensington Palace is the sound of nothing at all. If you would like more of this, I write a free letter every week. Join more than 10,000 royal insiders at crownletter.com. The link is in the pinned comment. If you are watching on your TV, just point your phone at the QR code on screen, and I will see you there.